Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji.
Dandavad Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dhananjay Mataji. Okay, let's start.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji.
Pranam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyaudirayet Ashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Reading from 5th canto, 14th chapter, verse 36. Whoever wants to read the verse, please raise your hands. Madhumai Krishna Kant Mataji, Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kvachit Kshina Danaha Shayasana Ashanadi Upabhoga Vihino Yavat Apratilabdha Manorata Upagata Adane Avasitamatihi Tatastataha Avamanadini Janat Abhilavate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Chitramohini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kvachit Kshinadhanam Shayasana Ashana Bhoga Vihino Yavad Apratilabdha Manorato Upagata Adhane Avastitham Mati Statatato Avamanadina Janadi Bilapate. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Now, Venkat Narasimha Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kvachit Danaha Shayasanadi Upabhoga Vihino Yavada Pratilabdha Manoradho Upagata Adi Adane Avasita Mati Tata Tata Avamanadini Janadi Bhi Labate. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Anjali Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kvachit Dhanha Shayya Asana Ashana Adi Upabhoga Vihinaha Yavat Pratilabdha Manoratha Upagata Adane Avasita Matihi Tataha Tataha Avaman Adini Janat Abhilavate. Hare Krishna
Thank you, Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Repti Ratnangi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kvashishyanadanaha Sayyasana Sanadi Upabhoga Vihino Yavat Apratilapta Manorado Bhagatatani Avasita Madhistato Avamana Dina Janat Apilabade. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Hare Krishna. Usha Deyavati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kvachit Dhanha Sayya Asana Sanadi Upabhoga Vihina Yavat Apariti Lapta Manorata Ubagata Adena Avasita Mati Tatah Avaman Adini Janat Abhilapta. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prafulla Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kvachit Dhanha Sajjasanadi Upabhoga Vihino Yavat Apratilabdho Manoratho Upagata Adane Avasitam Mati Tatsastato Avamanadini Janat Abhilavate. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna. Vijay Kumari Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasishana Dana Shayasana Sanadi Upabhoga Vihuna Yavat Apralipta Manorado Bhagadadano Avesidi madistadastado avamanadini janat abhilabade. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you. Pushpa Yashomati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी क्वचित जनदन तैयासना आसनासन आदि उपभोग विहीनो यावत् अप्रतिलप्त मनोरथो बकदाताने वसिदा मदिस्तदस्तदो वमानादीनि सनात विलपते. हरे कृष्ण माता जी. थैंक यू माता जी. हरे कृष्ण.
Shubha Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंड प्रणाम। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। क्वचित् क्षीणदन शय्यासनाद्युपभोगविहीनो यावदप्रतिलब्धमनोरथो भगतादाने अवसितमतिस्ततोवमानादीनि जनादभिलभते.
Thank you, Krishna. Kvachit Kshina Dhana Sayya Asana Adi Pabhoga Vihino Yavat Apratilabdha Manoratho Pagadane Avasita Matis Tatas Tato Avavamanadini Janad Abhilabhate. Kvachit, sometime, kshinadhana, not having sufficient money. Sayya asana adi. Accommodations for sleeping, sitting, or eating. Apabhoga, of material enjoyment. Vihinaha, being bereft. Yavat, as long as. Apratilabdha, not achieved. Manoratha, by his desire. Upagata, obtained. Adane, in seizing by unfair means. Avasita matihi, whose mind is determined. Tatha, because of that. Tatha, from that. Avamana adini, insults and punishment. Janat, from the people in general. Abhilabhate, he gets. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Sometimes having no money, the conditioned soul does not get sufficient accommodations. Sometimes he does not even have a place to sit, nor does he have the other necessities. In other words, he falls into scarcity. And at that time, when he is unable to secure the necessities by fair means, he decides to seize the property of others unfairly. When he cannot get the things he wants, he simply receives insults from others and thus becomes very morose. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that necessity knows no law. When the conditioned soul needs money to acquire life's bare necessities, he adopts any means. He begs, borrows, or steals. Instead of receiving these things, he is insulted and chastised. Unless one is very well organized, one cannot accumulate riches by unfair means. Even if one acquires riches by unfair means, he cannot avoid punishment and insult from the government or the general populace. There are many instances of important peoples embezzling money, getting caught, and being put in prison. One may be able to avoid the punishment of prison, but one cannot avoid the punishment of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who works through the agency of material nature. This is described in Bhagavad Gita 7 chapter verse 14. Devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya durattaya. Nature is very cruel. She does not excuse anyone. When people do not care for nature, they commit all kinds of sinful activities and consequently they have to suffer. Omagyan Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshur Unmildam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Tadati Savadantikam. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite. Taptakanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Pisthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami iti Namne. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shnevadi Paschati Dishadharne. Hare Krishna, I'm so sorry. Sometimes having no money, The conditioned soul does not get sufficient accommodations. Sometimes he doesn't even have a place to sit, nor does he have the other necessities. In other words, he falls into scarcity. And at that time, when he is unable to secure the necessities by fair means, he decides to seize the property of others unfairly. When he cannot get the things he wants, he simply receives insults from others and thus becomes very morose. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, which is called Creative Impetus, chapter 14, which is called as what?
Forest of material
Forest of
enjoyment.
material enjoyment.
Forest of material enjoyment. There is one shloka, Ara Keno Maya Jale. Oh, Mataji, you can bring it up on your screen and maybe we can share it. Then Dhanya Dhameshwari Mataji.
Mataji, actually, I felt like sharing. I mean, phone may not be able to share it.
Acha.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, then put a link then in the chat and I can open the link. Rather than putting the shlok, just put the link of hyperlink and then I'll open it.
Sure, Mataji.
Thank you. So, this is actually coming from this verse, which Jad Bharat told Raja Ugan, 5:13-12. On the forest path of material existence, sometimes a person is without wealth, and due to this, not having a proper home, bed or sitting place, nor proper family enjoyment, he therefore goes to beg money from others, but when his desires are not fulfilled by begging, he wants to borrow or steal the property of others, thus he is insulted in society. So this is actually not an analogy. This has a direct meaning with little slight difference in translation and purport of the both. What did you study yesterday? Cheating, right? What did you study? Cheating? What did you study?
Cheating, Mataji. Due to cheating, he makes enemies and cease to be friends. And he
Correct.
also suffers from threefold misery.
Correct. It is said that if you want any kind of misunderstanding and the relationships, bring money, because it is such a dangerous thing to bring in. Everyone is very happy, could be very happy, could be very mellow, unless and until the concept of money is introduced. Then what happens? Even the family members or the friends or nations becomes enemies of each other, as if the money is going to give them the liberation. You see, if you deeply think about it, what makes one so attached to the money? One thought is that money gives one power to buy. Like it gives the power to purchase, the purchasing power. That means the real need is to be powerful, right? Real need is to have influence, influential, powerful, have a stand in the world or in the society. That's the real need, which actually is springing from another anartha, which is what? Tell me which is what? Okay, so we're analyzing money, what is there, because money gives authority to buy. And buy, why do we need to buy? Because, and other thing is, it can make one look very influential, powerful. But then where is that anartha coming from? Because one wants to what is the
Enjoy.
anartha?
Enjoy.
Because one wants to enjoy. Yes, enjoy. Complete the sentence. One wants to enjoy how?
Enjoy by any means, Mataji.
Enjoy
by
independent of Krishna.
Yes.
So why? Because say that I am the Lord of all I survey. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. Right? Ahankar vimudhatma. So two kind of designations are given by Krishna. Ahankar means false ego. Vimudhatma means foolish soul. Karta aham, thinks that I am the doer. Iti manyate. Iti manyate, things like that, what? That I am the doer. So, ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. That way, the desire is deep-rooted to become the master of all I survey, to be the sole enjoyer, or to be God, or to be godlike. You see, that's which actually is indirectly or directly is an envy to Krishna's authority. How come Krishna is God? I should be God. How come Krishna is powerful? I am also powerful. You see, when the consciousness is like that, then the effect is this. So we are living in a life which is subtle to gross. It's not gross, it's subtle to gross. What is inside comes outside. What is going on? Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter also, right? That the work is first done in the subtle level and then it is brought in the gross level. Do you know this? Krishna says this in 18th chapter when he is describing the 5 factors involved in any work, and then he goes on to describe that the work is done first at the subtle level and then it comes at the gross level. You know this or no? Do you know this or no? I am audible or no?
Audible, Mataji, just forgot, Mataji. Don't know.
See, Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter when he's explaining the 5 factors of a work. And then he goes on to explain. I'll show you I don't remember the verse per se. But
Hare Krishna Mataji. Adhishthana Manaschayam.
which verse is it, Mataji?
18.14, I think, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. 5 factors. Yes. But then that's correct. 18:14. But then where is this? Where is the knowledge, the object of knowledge? This one, 18. The knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the 3 factors that motivate action. The senses, work, and doer are the 3 constituents of action. Okay, so knowledge, object of knowledge, and knower are the 3 factors that motivate action, means the work is done in the subtle body first. And once the action is motivated, then it comes to gross level, which is senses, work, and doer are the 3 constituents of action. Prabhupada writes, any work done by any human being has these elements. Before one acts, there is some impetus, which is called inspiration. Before any solution arrived at, before work is actualized, is a subtle form of work. Then work takes the form of action. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that before one actually works with the senses, the work is already done in the gross set and the subtle level. For example, if somebody has to attend the class, or give the class or attend the class, it's already done, right? That, okay, I have to, in the mind, it's already decided that at this time I have to go to this particular place and do this. Yes, it's decided already in the subtle level, and then the gross action is done. Like that, what I'm trying to connect over here is like what is inside is outside. Whatever we are thinking is what we are going to portray outside. There is no gap there, in the sense that oh, I suddenly one day woke up and became envious of Krishna. No, we have been, and this is a very gross level of seeing the envy everywhere. So we don't even have to find it outside of us. It's there within us. There's Prabhupada's disciple. What's his name? Forgetting his name. This Prabhupada disciple who comes to Gita Nagri, he's actually GVC of Gita Nagri. He said that it is being analyzed in the world of economy and philosophy that one is happy as long happy as long as they don't get somebody who is better than them. So the minute, let's say, somebody is making a specific amount of income per year, they're happy, they're living their life. But when they find out the income of someone else who's superior to them, they become unhappy. They're happy as long as there is no comparison with somebody who's superior to them in terms of the income. This is envy. Why and where is it coming from? We just analyze. And because the consciousness is so impure, there is only going to be insult, only going to be punishment. That's one way of looking at this verse. The other way of looking at this verse is literally the verse, how the verse is placed as it is, that beg, borrow, steal, because the desire to enjoy the material nature is so strong, and money is giving the power to purchase objects of enjoyment. So how do you procure money? By fair means or unfair means. And then what do you do? What do people do? Then they get caught. There's so many leaders who were embezzling money, and then they were caught, and then they were insulted, and then they were punished in the jail, right? So many leaders. I think most of the leaders are embezzling money, right? So, which is one literal meaning. Or a person who is at a very respectable post, which they have attained by virtue of their work and qualification, but money comes. And when money comes, then the greed becomes active, which was subdued for so long. And when the greed takes over, Kama, Esha, Krodha, Esha, Rajoguna, Samadhuna, lust, anger, and greed are the three enemies. And Kama, Esha, and Krodha, Esha, Rajoguna, that cycle starts. Can't control, because the mind is not controlled. Can't control, then embezzle the money, then get caught, then get insulted, then get punished. And if somebody says, I can escape the punishment of the government or of the material laws, Krishna's nature, material nature, is not going to let that go. It may not happen in our vision of lifespan, but it will happen. One has to suffer. You know, one of the persons recently told me they used to call it as bribery, right? Bribery. But now they call it as profit sharing. You see how jugglery of words can cheat a living entity? Profit sharing. He said they call it as profit sharing now. It's not profit sharing, it's sinful activity sharing. And then the effect of sinful activity will also be shared. Okay. So I think because Krishna's mother nature is very strong. But one who has faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one who is on the path of Krishna consciousness, may still be poor, okay, in terms of the economic assets, but they will still not adopt to the means that will take their away from Krishna, or that will bring their consciousness lower. They will go to Krishna, and Krishna will take care of that devotee. Krishna will take care of that devotee no matter what. And that's called faith. I think Dharnya Dhameshwari Mataji brought out this bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which I don't know. So I'll just read the translation, which is linked to this particular verse, I think. O Jiva, why have you become like a fish fallen into Maya's net? You do not know that you will be trapped in that net for a very long time. Yearning to taste pathetic pleasures, you remain trapped in Maya's net. Your life is unnatural. You're sick at heart, dependent on others, and you're punished again and again. By the power of devotional service, you will be set free. Playing in the ocean of love for Krishna, you will take shelter of Krishna and be his servant. So nice. Thank you for sharing, Mataji. Okay, so remember, if you want to spoil the relationship, bring money. It's not that the money is not going to come. Money comes in every relationship. But then one psychologist, I heard this podcast few months ago. I loved it. Okay, this is from the secular world, okay? I'm going to share. This is from the secular world. She was saying that when she does premarital counseling, or she does marriage counseling for different couples, and the matter of money comes up, most of the time people think that money means that asset. Like, money means that, okay, how are we gonna divide the expenses of the house? How are we gonna divide the expenses of children? How are we gonna divide the expenses of our own savings? Or how are we gonna, save money for future, or leave it behind for our children? This is what most of the people think when they are in a relationship like that. Yes, is that true? Like because money has to come. So the bills are there. And yes, are you following what I'm trying to say?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
She said that's a very what did she say? What did she say? It's not a very good view in a relationship to look at money with that context. Is not a very good view. It's not a sign of a very lasting or a strong relationship. She said when couples come to her, what she does is that she asks them the question that what does money really mean to you? What does it mean to you? individually and collectively? Does it mean to you like an asset? Does it mean to you like a buying power? Does it mean to you an epitome of who is going to be more strong in relationship? Like who means who's earning more, is more powerful and has more say in that relation? What does money mean to you? And then we start from there. But in general, people don't have that vision. I myself didn't know like that unless and until I heard her say like this. Okay, so money and lack of money is a problem. Excess of money is also a problem. So money is a problem until we bring money to Krishna and then we ask, okay, Krishna, tell us what to do with money. Prabhupada, there was a newspaper clipping one time. Prabhupada was asked one time by a foreign journalist, I don't know which country it was, that Srila Prabhupada, generally the renunciants have nothing to do with money. You know, the renunciants have nothing to do with money. But we see that you have such big establishments, such big temples, so many cars, so many activities. So how do you bridge this gap where on one hand we hear and learn that renunciants have nothing to do with money, and on the other hand, this is what we are seeing you. So Prabhupada said, renunciants have nothing to do with money. Give me all the money in the whole world. All the money, give me, and I will hold it like this. So they took Prabhupada's photo, like hugging the plate of money like that. So basically it means is that because Prabhupada, he said we should be the only people who should have all the money in the world. Because we know exactly how to use it. We know exactly where it needs to go. So that is the importance of knowing what belongs where, what is where, and what needs to go where. And then we can actually use the same object for liberating ourselves rather than getting caught in the network of material loss. I think I'll stop here. Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections? Any questions, reflections, realizations, corrections?
Mataji, explain the money hold. Well, you say something. I am not understand.
Money, what, Mataji?
You told money in the whole world.
Oh, Prabhupada said that bring the whole money, the entire money of the whole world and give it to me. Because we are the only people who know how to use the money. Is that what you're asking from Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Is that what you were asking me to repeat? Can you please clarify?
I don't understand what you say. Prabhupada told give all the money in the world. That much I understand.
Yeah, so Prabhupada said that the question was renunciants are supposed to renounce money, but we see you, Prabhupada, having so many assets and establishments and being rich. So how do you bridge this gap where on one side we hear that renunciants have nothing to do with money and the other side we see you having all the money? Prabhupada said that bring all the money in the whole world and give it to me and I will use it appropriately. And then he said that we are the only people who know how to use the money in Krishna consciousness. Everybody else is using it for their own sense gratification. We will use it for Krishna.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. This time only the meaning I know, madam.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any
Hare
other
Krishna,
question?
Mataji.
Yes, Shivara Prabhu.
This sloka tells us how one is driven into the habit of becoming a thief and things are theft and all that, just because it doesn't have necessities. And then how he's caught. If he is left off by people here, he'll be punished by God. So each one by one weaknesses, it's being explored, Mataji. Yesterday cheating, today it is knocking others money and all that.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you for the reflection. Okay, let me talk about Damodar Leela for a few minutes. We're going to start the new chapter today, right? That the mother, glories of Damodar's mother. So, mother, Sri Damodar's mother. So, this is chapter 8. Krishna has been caught, right? Krishna has already been caught and tied down to the mortar, and Mother Yashoda has left in the palace, and the demigods were praising Mother Yashoda, and they were paying obeisances in the direction where Mother Yashoda's palace was, and glorifying her charming fortune. And now the scene is on Krishna, because Krishna is now, this is a new experience for Krishna to be bound. Initially, Krishna didn't like it. Krishna tried to test the knot. It was very tight. So he tried to test it from behind, like, it was very tight. He couldn't do anything. So he was in distress. His face, his eyes were welled up with tears, and his face looked in distress because of being bound down. So seeing this, some monkeys were excited. Some gopas, his friends, were offering him words of empathy and solace. And other jivas or other living entities were having different reactions to Krishna's distress. But one thing was common, that Krishna was in distress, but Krishna is the epitome of bliss. So when they were looking at Krishna's beautiful face, they were all feeling the transcendental bliss, and they actually forgot about Krishna's sorrow. So in a usual state of pastimes, Krishna's situation in such a trance can only be visible to a pure devotee. But Krishna's heart was so much overflooded with mercy that he had actually opened up this vision to anyone and anybody who had eyes. So everybody could see Krishna's beautiful face, welled up with tears and in distress and trying to do this. Krishna was very beautiful. Krishna is very beautiful. Krishna's face is like a blue lotus. Krishna's face is enhanced in beauty by his dangling earrings and by the reddish marks left by Mother Yashoda's kisses and by the locks of hair which are touching his cheek. Krishna's hair are like the glossy Yamuna waters. They're flowing and they're very beautiful. Krishna is very soft, and Krishna's eyes were swarming here and there looking for support. So after that, sometime, Krishna is very pretty, Krishna is very beautiful, and he is in distress, but everyone around him, even though they understand that Krishna has been caught and he's in a sorry situation, are actually feeling a transcendental bliss. And then Krishna's friend, one of Krishna's friend at that moment tells him, Krishna, would you like to have some yogurt? And as soon as Krishna heard yogurt, he got reminded that he's hungry because he hasn't eaten in such a long time. And then his mischievous mind starts planning another trick. Says, yogurt. And then he says, what are you saying, you foolish yogurt? And then the boys said, we'll go and ask our mothers if they can give some for you. And then he said, asking mothers? No, don't ask mothers. Your mothers are with my mother. Just go to your homes and grab all the goodies that you have, and we will eat them. So some of the gopas left laughing and shouting and chattering to their homes to grab all the goodies from their homes for Krishna, and then they come back. And Krishna and his friends are having a picnic, even though Krishna is tightly bound to this mortar with a rope around his neck, but he's having a picnic with this, all the goodies being brought by his friends. And they're all eating. And when Krishna's energy is restored with all these meals, he starts to plan another mischievous act. And then he tests the mortar again, the strength of the mortar again. So he's able to pull it a little bit with the strength of a little boy. But the boys are pushing it from the back. They're pushing the mortar from the back. So it's moving a little bit more. And Krishna quickly discovered that if the mortar is going down the hill, then he has to give less of his effort. So he starts dragging the mortar down the hill. On the other hand, the mortar was in quandary. The mortar was in perplexity because it did not want to overstep Mother Yashoda's hard work, and it could also not go against his lord's wishes. So there was a lot of perplexity going on in mortar's mind. But fortunately, the mortar only had few choices to make because Krishna had already decided what he's going to do. So like that, Krishna was pulling the mortar this way, that way. Boys were pushing it from back this way, that way, and they were having the time of their life. They were enjoying. So Krishna apparently was in distress in the beginning, but now he had discovered another sport, pull the mortar, and they were having time of their life. So during this, catching his breath this way, that way, Krishna during one breather thought that by this pastime, I have made clear three things. First thing is that I am bound by my devotees. Second thing is the transcendental epitome of my mother. Third thing is the spontaneous loving devotion can purchase me. So three things are made, and whoever attains or whoever understands and attains that level of bhakti is eligible for attaining liberation. So Krishna is thinking like this in the while doing this sporting play, and then the birds of Braja are watching. So they're chattering and they're happy and they're flocking their wings in happiness that Krishna is doing this sport with his friends in the courtyard of Braj. And Mathura, the songbird of Mathura, looks and says very wisely, I wonder what austerities did the queen of Braja do to attain such a position of being Krishna's mother and bind him by the providence. What did she do? So the birds of Braja look at this. They look at this bird visiting from Mathura, the songbird from Mathura, and then everyone is watching him with like perplexed eyes. But the wise owl decides to speak. He said, "My dear songbird from Mathura, Mother Yashoda, you think that one can do some austerity and become eligible to become Krishna's mother and then bind him? You think is a result of some austerities?" And then our dear Shuka says that it's not that Mother Yashoda did austerities and then she became eligible to become Krishna's mother and then was able to bind him. No, it's that Mother Yashoda is eternally his mother. She is eternally his mother. But she became the special recipient of his mercy to be able to bind him. Okay. So then when Shuka says that, his wings are fluttering in ecstasy. And then they're all very happy, glorifying Mother Yashoda's fortune, that she actually is eternally Krishna's mother, and Krishna became so merciful that he allowed her to bind her. And then all the flock of birds were chattering again and blabbering. And then there was this conversation of comparative study of Mother Yashoda's fortune as compared to other devotees. So one other bird said that, such a fortune is not even given to very stalwart devotees like Brahma or Shiva or even Mother Lakshmi. They also did not get this. But Mother Yashoda got. She was able to bind Krishna. And Krishna got bound also. They're not able to do it. Then, so they're all like talking like this. And then they're laughing and they're having all these blabbery chats with each other that Mother Yashoda is so nice. And then Sari, Sukha's wife, Sari, her voice was trembling. And then she spoke that because Mother Yashoda's love is, before that, the other birds brought up one question. But everyone is a devotee. They're all devotees. So what made them not get the mercy and Mother Yashoda got the mercy? So one bird answers, because Krishna reciprocates with his mercy to the degree that one is able to surrender to him. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. And at that point, Sari says that because Mother Yashoda's love for Krishna is superlative, and because it is so excellent, and by virtue of that devotion and love for Krishna, she became the recipient of this special mercy which nobody attained. And then there was this chorus, nobody attained, nobody attained. Who didn't? No one attained. Who didn't attain? The Brahma didn't attain. Not even Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, not even Lakshmi. So this songbird from Mathura, what revoiced that, are you trying to say that nobody attained this special mercy of binding Krishna to the rope ever before? Nobody. And then the birds were already having so much fun, so they were again dancing and singing, and then they again started blabbering and flocking together. Nobody, not even Brahma, not even Shiva, not even Lakshmi, nobody attained. Only Mother Yashoda attained. Then the songbird from Mathura looked very perplexed. The eyes were like, really? Nobody attained? And wise owl looked at this bird from Mathura and said, my dear bird, whatever is going on in your heart, speak up. Speak up without fear, because that way we will be able to glorify and chant Mother Yashoda's glories far and wide. So